With the release dates and prices of both the major consoles revealed, everything is shaping up for the Clash of the Titans on launch day. And all that remains is to pick a side, or pick both if you're financially able. If you haven't already done so, you might be wondering which console is best to get with your hard-saved pandemic dollars. Ultimately, all you can do is to follow your heart. But the heart does better with some solid information under its belt. So sit yourself back and we'll tell you about the launch titles available to both consoles on day one, as well as a quick overview on the salient features of each console, for those who haven't been obsessively studying every detail of their development for some unfathomable reason. Looking at the Xbox Series X, in terms of its raw technical power, the Xbox Series X tends to have the edge on paper. But until both consoles are out in the fields, it's hard to say how much of a difference, if any, those numbers will actually make. The Series S, however, will likely make a larger difference as it offers nearly comparable performance for the majority of players for a much cheaper price, at $299 to the $499 of both main consoles, and beating out the price point of the PlayStation 5 Digital at $399, assuming of course that the Series S doesn't turn out to be a lemon. The Xbox new launch exclusives are unfortunately somewhat slim, especially with the delay of Halo Infinite. But this is compensated somewhat by Microsoft's extensive backwards compatibility efforts, the Xbox Game Pass, and their general commitment to games as a service, making the Series X and S more of an upgrade rather than a completely new machine, and allowing you to run your entire existing library of games better than ever before, while benefiting for free from any further upgrades the devs might offer to optimize their games for the next generation. Here's a look at those Xbox exclusive launch games. The Eagles, well, Falcons, are coming. An impressive indie game by a lone developer. The Falconeer allows you to ride a giant warbird through an open world and dogfight anything from steampunk airships to airborne manta rays.
Fly before its waters envelop you in darkness, and only your splinters remain. All strive to remain whole.
A sci-fi indie game with AAA graphics and a story as bizarre as the action and gameplay is hectic and flashy. Originally released as Episode 1 of an intended series, the series is being expanded and turned into a larger scale AAA game under the name of Bright Memory Infinite, and is expected to come out next year. However, in the meantime, the original Bright Memory will become a Series X and S launch title to take advantage of its processing power. The famed Gears of War series hasn't yet announced a sequel yet to Gears of War 5, but will be providing a remastered version of their latest game with upgraded graphics and improved load times for the Xbox One X version, and better yet, free for anyone who's already got the Xbox One X version as well.
A clean kill.
The Gears of War take on XCOM will be, like its main franchise, getting a free graphical upgrade for all those who already own the Xbox One X version, as well as a few new gameplay goodies as well.
We're in for a fun ride, you and me. Engaging now. Get here, catch this! Ha! Louise! Your history.
Multiplayer Tetris. We bet Alexei Petronov never imagined this coming to pass back in the 80s. Interestingly, while we have Tetris Effect Connected categorized as an Xbox Series X and S exclusive, the game that is currently available on the PlayStation 4 is not the connected version, and will be playable for the PlayStation 5. At this point, there has been no official announcement of a PlayStation 5 version of Tetris Effect Connected. Now here's a look at the PlayStation 5. While Microsoft is doing its best to make sure the past is integrated with the present, Sony is gambling on the future with a bevy of innovative new technologies. While again on paper, the Xbox Series X tends to have the more impressive hardware stats, Sony went with a faster SSD, which might make for a game-changing improvement in load times, though Microsoft's own SSDs won't be any slouch themselves. The DualSense controller is also a cornucopia of fancy new technologies, key of which includes a haptic feedback system that's said to make touch a more integrated and granulated gaming sensation than simply rumbling the controller now and then. The granddaddy of the infamous Dark Souls series is getting a visual revamp for the PlayStation 5. Not just improving the sharpness of the graphics, but adding more visual flares to the environments that the budget of 2009 couldn't quite cover. The expand-alone sequel to the smash hit Spider-Man game for the PlayStation 4 is a smaller experience than its predecessor, but promises to be just as rich. For those who got the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales, or who just can't get enough of Spider-Man, there's also a revamped next-gen upgrade to the original Spider-Man available if you're okay with the controversial Peter Parker redesign.
Faster than signals travel inside the brain, never mind to an external prosthesis. We did it, Peter.
All the creatures in the images.
This spin-off to the Little Big Planet series takes the series into full, true 3D for more platforming action, though probably less focus on creation as the mainline series.
The boldest is the one they call Sackboy. Valiant warrior will face many dangers. Treacherous jungles await him. Vast oceans full of the kind of nasty stuff you find in oceans.
Gearbox has decided to mix up their loot shooters by turning to hacking and slashing for loot instead in a fantasy setting. Few other details exist as yet, but the change might turn out welcome. Packed in with every PlayStation 5 for free, Astro's Playground showcases the numerous unique features of the PlayStation 5's DualSense controller, but shows signs of being a decent little game in its own right. Coming from veteran racing developer Lucid Games, this colorful game seeks to bring the outsized characters, design, and powers of Overwatch to the noble and ancient art of Demolition Derby. We still think the game is overpriced, but that's just us. A rather faster-paced experience than Giant Squid's earlier work, Pathless has you sprinting, flying, and shooting your way across an isolated island on a journey of mythological importance, with enemies to match. From the creators of stealth octopoid action game Octodad comes BUGSNAX, a lighthearted, cutesy RPG about finding and trapping a variety of unique insects to feed the inhabitants of an isolated community founded by a charismatic and eccentric leader who suddenly vanishes, leaving the quasi-cult to go to pieces. Now, here's a look at the new multi-platform games coming to the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 at launch.
I give you England. This land already has many rulers. From the cunning King Alfred of Wessex to the warmongering sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, they have no wish to share the kingdoms they have made their own.
I do not fear these men. Nor any other.
5 days ago, we acquired intel. The Soviet agent Perseus is in play. If he's active, something big is gonna happen. Something that could shift the balance of the Cold War.
Let's go find this shithead.
It's time, Guardian. Crush them. Triple down.
Welcome. So come feel the wind in your sails. Kick back and relax. Enjoy the local cuisine. Your dream vacation is waiting for you here on the Gulf Coast. Go to maneatergame.com.
Just got a whole lot more interesting.
Let's make this quick. Secure the bridge. Those weapons can't get into the city.
You set him up. Foul, knock him down.
Thor, what's your status?
The 84. That's when they call me to access you. To gather evidence. To dredge up whatever's hiding in the dark.
A shady private army is running our city. And it's up to us to take it back.
For more gaming news and updates, please keep it locked here on Game Insider.